Yeah. Are we live streaming?
Yeah.
Are we on? Okay, I didn't get notification.
Yeah, we are live.
We are live. Hello.
Hi.
Whoever's here. Will I start?
Yeah.
Hello, I'm Sarah David. I'm one of the MA Fine Art at Chelsea graduates, graduating this year actually. Our show is going on from the 18th to 21st. It's called Rally. And today you're joining us for the MA Rally panels with Otherly, a broadcast that we're starting as part of the show, which will be 5 lives with participating and graduating artists in the show. And as part of this panels, we're just doing a series of discussions, very informal, very chill, Otherly style, with the amazing work on show and just getting to know more about the artists behind those works, exhibiting and what they're planning to, what they've done, what they've planned, and how those things are going to progress further after the show. Otherly is a curatorial collective formed of myself and Marisha Moodley, who we met during our BAs at CSM. And then we've carried on the collective and trying to invite other emerging artists at the early stages of their career to join this journey with us, to be invited into this platform. Sorry about my background noise. And create a platform that celebrates care, collectivism, community, and collaboration at its forefront. And today we're joined by Berger&Berger, another collective, which we're really excited to meet and get to know more. We'd love you guys to introduce yourselves.
Who is Dolly? Do you want?
Hi, I'm Dolly Berger from Berger&Berger, and also a graduate student from Chelsea MAFA. Yes.
I'm Jo. I'm also a Chelsea MAFA graduate, and we've been collaborating for about 2 years. Is it since we also did graduate diploma at Chelsea, and that's where we met and we started working together, and then we continued over our MA. And then we were hit hard by the pandemic and separated ever since.
Yes.
So your graduate diplomas were 1 year, right? And then you kind of go on to the MA. Yeah. Wow. Okay. And then you was just separated as soon as things were kicking off, I'm guessing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. So tell us more about Berger&Berger, how it formed, how you guys came to be, and what kind of brought you together.
Actually, at first, it's not like, hey, we are going to have a collective. And at first, we are like hang out or at Tate, and we just playing around and taking some footages. And after that, we look at these footages and we think it is so good. So we need to make it like a proper work. And we trying to make it like a BBC art documentaries. And we referenced John Berger's ways of seeing and borrow his name. Yeah, that's how Berger&Berger come from.
Yeah, so we were in a group organizing an event, and everyone in the group had a separate idea of what the topic was, except Hanju and I, we kind of, you know, it's just when you click and you think exactly the same way. And that is quite magical because you can't force it. It just, you just need to find that person. It's like love. So in the end, for our graduate show, we didn't show any individual piece, but we went for our group, our Berger&Berger piece. And that was also quite amazing because everyone was still stuck on their individual piece on the wall. And we moved it around campus, and it was really exciting. It was really quite new. It was just exciting to just abandon your own individualism and being together.
No, definitely. Actually, that's really interesting because, of course, you're both, independent artists as well. I'm sure you've got your own practices. But I think there's something about Marisha and I discussed about like this institutional critique that comes into the work, right? Of it's not actually tied to a wall or a floor or anywhere, actually. It's just you guys. So you can kind of imagine it anywhere. And so one of the things that we were both discussing is that you're, of course, in separate locations, and you were saying you're in Italy, Dolly is in China. I mean, how does that collaboration actually happen now in this space that we're in right now, the virtual? Challenging.
We spend a lot of time in our old footages. We just use all of the footages and making new works. Yeah, and also we will have Teams meetings, like record the meeting, and we will, I don't know, usually we just do something first, and after that we start to think about it and trying to develop the idea.
Yeah. So we spend a lot of time, even if we are away, we spend a lot of time just chatting on Instagram or whatever, and it just bouncing. At the moment, it's more bouncing ideas, and we keep them bouncing sometimes for a long time before anything happens. So it was useful to have the MA show because it gave us some focus, even though in a way we almost failed completely to deliver in a way, but that this failing is also one of our themes, like failing to be a proper artist. It is institutional critique, but without saying it, just toying with the idea of this. It's our form of criticality, with tongue-in-cheek and not taking anything seriously. So yes, we are having a shop because every gallery needs a shop. You can't go to Tate and not stop at the shop. I am addicted to shops. We both are. So we were imagining this shop full of merchandise. In the end, we had to compromise massively. But eventually, I think if we have funding and we are together, we will develop it. That at the moment it's just the idea.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be the only one talking. I just also, as well as having our individual practice, we are serial collaborators. So Dolly is in another collaboration, Krabby Crab. I am in a collaboration with Holly English, and I've collaborated with other artists. So yeah, it's like a free relationship when you sleep with you can sleep with other people as well as being totally in love.
Yes.
I was just about to say it's very open. You keep it open that you're allowed to go and collaborate with others. Marisha and I are the same, completely the same. We're like, we hold on to each other, but we have our own separate lives out of this.
Yeah,
we want to collaborate out of that. No, totally. Sorry, Marisha, I think you were asking a question.
I want to know, I guess, like, I'm not really familiar with your work, and I wasn't with you in the course and seeing it developed. I'm so interested how you kind of attached yourself to the idea of like the shop. And I think actually like in the virtual, that's so interesting because everyone at the moment is like on Amazon and like buying things online. And so I think the idea of like a virtual shop and how that relates to the art world and even like viewing rooms that kind of became really popular to the pandemic. It's just such an interesting idea. I'd love if you could talk more about that and like art and business of it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. The online shop is actually more accessible than making a physical shop in a gallery. And also it's very, it's very fit in this situation that people are buying stuff online. And yes, and we are always working on our website, and we think we need to have a page that is our shop. Yeah.
Yes, and also there is this commercial element in art that we can't escape, and everyone wants to sell. You start with the idea of success and selling your work, but what if you are a conceptual artist? What do you sell? And how do you move on without the material product? So normally we would have this footage and make a video and tell a story, but we don't have even that at the moment. We have all these nothing special leftovers. They are just the things that have been discarded from all our previous videos, all the bad parts. There's nothing left.
I think that's something so playful about, you know, what how your approach is to the criticality of like art and the art scene right now, especially. What I found really interesting that you're part of the show reel and you're kind of doing these like choppy adverts in between. I think that's fantastic because I feel like your work is very aware of itself and where it situates itself as well, because it's now become part of the show, but it's almost advertising itself. It's very, you know, it's got its own space basically without needing a physical, you know, room or a wall or whatnot. And I think that's really, really different to what I've seen for the rest of the show actually. So I think that's really exciting, even when you both aren't present in those spaces. So I think you've done that really well. And I know it's called Nothing Special, which is, I don't know, it's really ironic, isn't it? I just feel like it is actually really special work in that show, and it actually has its own space, you know, within that, wherever that might be, which is everywhere in many ways. So yeah.
Thank you. I'm glad, you know, at least we feel it's not being there. You miss that sense of validation, people telling you it's okay to do that. So at least we have one another and we chat and we say it's okay. But it can be isolating not to be with a big group on campus, especially as we are also partly reacting to the mood of the group and not this particular group, but I think any art show where there is always the big personality, and it's natural, but it feeds us continuously. It's part of those conventions of the art world, even university, that we love and we love to make fun of, but in a serious way. We are not really making fun of other artists because we are artists ourselves, but we want to put a light touch to that kind of self-absorbed seriousness of some artists. Yes,
definitely. Definitely.
Sorry.
And you do it well. I just wanted to know, like, what you feel about the role of comedy in art, and just how of course it ties into your practice, but how do you think about how it affects how people perhaps interact with art, and how you maybe interact with art, or just the importance of it, I suppose, in your practice and just widely, in a wider context? Yeah.
Do you want to say something, Dolly?
I don't know how to say. Maybe you first.
Dolly is hilarious. She knows exactly what she wants to say, and seeing her interacting with art, especially if you look at the first two movies, Ways of Not Seeing and Art Shopping Made Easy, there is a genuine sense of comedy, but it's not as if we go out and say, oh, we want to make people laugh. It doesn't work like that. It's just we want to have fun with art. Also, we are born out of college, and there was incredible seriousness even during graduate diploma, and you think, especially, I don't know, in my generation, I think, well, I want to have fun at university. You know, it's like, bloody hell, why is everyone so serious? So I found Dolly, which was like this perfect match. Though I respect the seriousness. And then there is, of course, comedy is an existential, it has this existential aspect. It just, the other side of the coin is just total despair. So, you know, you can laugh or you can cry. And there is also an element of that, is the failure, the F word, that we don't want to really mention too much. But it is also attached to our work. Do you want to add anything?
I think it's pretty much you already said.
Yes. I mean, when we go and look at art, we're just trying to interact and have fun, trying to find the absurdities. Dolly has a particular gift at pointing out the absurd that we forget when we go to look at, when we go to galleries. We are so used to look at the piece rather than the whole situation.
I also like to think, like, when you bring comedy into a work, it also, I think it's really special for like audiences as well, because it kind of says to them, like, we're allowing you to have fun with this. And yeah. I definitely think, like, as you're saying, in university, everything becomes so serious and everyone wants to make a good impression, and the idea of validation again, and kind of say, like, I'm a serious artist, I know what I'm doing. But when you make something that's like, actually it's okay to make fun of this or make fun of me or make fun of the process, I think it really does allow people to kind of say, like, we can take a step back and we can just kind of say, like, it's not as deep as maybe we were thinking it was.
Yeah, that's a very good point. And we are missing, I think, a lot not being there for the show, because we actually like to look at other people watching our videos and their reaction and laughing with them. We like to think of them as happy customers. So we're always counting the number of happy customers, and that, of course, it gives us energy to have happy customers. Otherwise, how do we keep going?
I wonder if you attach like one of those digital surveys or like feedback forms, you know, like Amazon give you, like, how was our service?
Yes, it's kind of scary.
It could work.
It kind of goes back to assessment forms. Also.
Wow. No, that's great. But yeah, so what's kind of happening after the show for you guys, and how are you kind of continuing forward, do you think, after this is over, after the 21st, just in case anyone's listening during the show week? Yeah.
I am working. Dolly, you go, because you've been quiet.
Because yes, we have a list every time when we are chatting, and we always have new ideas coming out, and we just put them on that list. And so we have a lot of things to do that haven't started yet. Yes, so
hopefully we are going to meet. We have this idea of this. We've been waiting for because I'm in Venice, so we've been waiting to meet together and go to the Biennale and make a movie there, because it looks like a perfect setting. Who knows? Or maybe meeting somewhere in between that is not China or Italy when time allows, and meet in between and just shoot some footage and then do something with it.
Yeah, shoot some footage and then we can use it for a year or maybe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everything's got new context, so why not? Yeah, every time you edit it, it's probably something new. I was actually just wondering when you said that, sorry, I know we were wrapping up, just like who edits out of the two of you, and what's the editing process like? You know, how do you select people to... Okay. Great.
She is the main editor. She's the technical editor, and she's a filmmaker by background. I tend to be more like the manager person and public relations, communications.
Everyone has their strengths. Everyone.
It's great to have to be able to split tasks, not to have to do everything on their own. It's not always equal, but it's so much better and it's more fun. I recommend it. And as you say, it is the future, but it's also, personally, I think it's highly political because especially in the UK, the context is really nasty, and so there is an element of love and caring in doing something together, and that is a political message in itself. So there's comedy, but it's also that you can read something more serious into it.
Definitely.
I really love that just last thing that you said, because I think something that myself and Sarah always talk about is how we kind of work against the individualism of the art school and that it kind of generates. So yeah, I really like the idea of like the collective as being standing up against that and being like a kind of generative, loving kind of space and force. Yeah, it's really amazing.
Like inviting everyone to that, you know, that space and kind of having this common ground that we kind of sit within, you know, and make within or communicate, whatever it might be. I think that's something with these panels as well, just to promote the panels. Something with these panels is like, I think every year the UAL kind of do just individual artist interviews, and we were kind of like, but why? Wouldn't we want to talk to everyone? And so we do have a series of 5 of these happening. It's obviously the first one. It's the first episode. I think we started on a great one already, on a great message as well. And so the 5 others that or 4 others that we're going to do after this, like we hope that this kind of continues, this kind of collective sharing of ideas and thoughts and processes, you know, that's kind of at the forefront, I think, of how we make and how we all kind of communicate within the arts now. And I think it's probably brought about even more because of the virtual space that we've all been residing in the past year, which I think has had a positive impact, I think, personally, you know, in that
it's
sense.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
We've obviously we had this trauma of the pandemic, but we had already invited people to get some footage, to be in the footage, to work with us. We are not exclusive. We had people who said, oh, well, let's go together to Tate and shoot. And then we have the Berger&Berger School of Art, which we invited people to join. And that's like an opening, an invitation for people, and, you know, who are to think differently rather than teaching them, but it's like-minded spirits.
Definitely. Sorry, Marisha, do you want to... Should I?
Sorry, Sarah's not used to, like, whenever we do like Friends with Otherly interviews, I introduce it and then I normally close it. But I'm leaving it all up to Sarah.
Doing it to me, it's completely fine. I'll handle this. No, thank you so much for joining us. And also, I just actually want to end this on, how can we find more about you? If people are listening in afterwards, tell us all your like Instagrams, website, whatever details that you want to just go promo yourself right now. So just
follow us on Instagram, Berger&Berger.
Great. Is that it? Instagram?
Oh, we have a YouTube channel, and we have a new website that we are launching with the MA show. Berger hyphen Berger.
We will link it somewhere.
We will write it down.
Yes, we'll link it somewhere. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So please do follow their progress as well and what they're going to do next. I'm sure it's all very exciting. And I really hope you guys can meet at some point. That would be really cool. Especially if you meet in the middle. That's hilarious. That's very you. I don't know what the middle would be there. I'm just wondering where that is. But yeah, that'd be exciting. You'll find it on the map. No, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for being our first panelists. Very exciting. And we're doing another one live at when, Marisha? 4 p.m.
4 p.m.
4 p.m. with New
watch.
Lynn Collective. And please join us for that. And thank you.
We will. Thank you for having us.
Thank you. I just want to say one last thing I forgot to mention otherly. If you would like to catch up with this episode, the full recording will be on our website, www.otherlycollective.com. That is it. And we'll link everyone's information in our on our website, and also hopefully on this live recording on the Chelsea page. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And congrats.
Thank you.